Welcome to the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team Mystery Envelope Challenge. This month, our mystery envelope came from Kami, and she says, "Happy March, ladies. This month's envelope has 6x6 DSP and smaller, so the challenge is to create a scrapbook layout using small papers. You could use these background papers, embellishments, or whatever else you may think of. In the envelope, you'll find pink scalloped ribbon, yellow satin ribbon, and double-stitched ribbon, Bloom Impressions DSP, and my all-time favorite, antique pearls. Use anything from your stash to help you create a fantastic layout. Happy crafting." So what I'm going to do is kind of mimic a layout that I have seen in the past from Susan Williams from Just Crazy Blessed, and I am going to be using these Bloom Impressions papers, which were featured in our celebration campaign that just finished up at the end of February. And I'm going to use these to do a layout to scrapbook some pictures. So in January, my husband and I welcomed our third granddaughter. This is Eleanor Faith, Miss Ellie. And this past weekend, my parents, which would be great-grandparents, got to come up and visit with her and her cousins, my other granddaughters. And I have some pictures from the weekend, and I thought my mom's little jacket was perfect to go with these bright, bold colors, along with Avery's Leo. She had came from gymnastics, and so I thought, I think I can pull this off with these pictures. And I kind of want to feature this picture of my parents with all three granddaughters, Avery, Ellie, and Kinsley. And then I've got pictures of my parents with Kinsley and Avery here. Kinsley just turned 3 and Avery is about to turn 5. And then I have pictures with each of them holding Miss Ellie as well. So I think I'm going to try to pull together a layout featuring these pictures, and I've trimmed them to probably 3 7/8 by 5 7/8, and then 3 7/8 square and 2 7/8 square, and then put them on the coordinating photo placeholders is what I'm going to use as a mat for them. So let's get started. And I'm going to bring in some white willow cardstock. And in order to stretch these into the components that I need, I think my best option is going to be to cut them at a diagonal. Now I will probably repeat this more than once, but when I put this in, I line up those corners in the track, then I drop my blade in the center of the paper. It's very important to drop it in the center of the paper, that way you never crunch the corners of those triangles that you are cutting. So I drop it in the center and then I go back and forth. It's the best way to cut things when you are cutting at an angle. Now that bright floral and the petunia pop, I'm going to feature on the left-hand page with that feature photo. And then this blue and the pink, I believe the pink is Melon Mambo, and I think the blue is Azure Afternoon maybe. And those are going to be featured on the right hand. I'm trying to figure out how wide I need to make this. I'm going to do kind of a collage like this on the right hand side. These two together make 10. These two together make 8. Let's see if this is wide enough. This one is 8.5 by 11. Let's go ahead and mat these. It might be wide enough. I want to put a large mat in the center right here. I really think this Blackberry Bliss cardstock makes the pictures pop. So I really like that selection of color. And I will tell you, we are getting ready for a new annual catalog to kick off around the first week in May. So you want to stock up on things now. As most other things, prices will be going up some, and so if you need cardstock, this is the best time to go ahead and stock up on it. I put in an order this morning and made sure that I put some cardstock in there. I noticed I was running low on White Willow, and that is one that I use a whole lot. So I made sure that I started to stock up on that, and I will be putting in another order next week to stock up on some more. So get in those orders now. And if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, go over to katieweeks.stampinup.net, and I would love to help you out. And there are new catalogs coming out, so you will want to keep an eye out for so all of my faithful customers, just know that you will be getting your catalogs. So if you've ordered from me, I put in the order for people to get catalogs this morning, and I ordered a couple boxes of them as well. So let's go ahead and put these down. This one is Blackberry Bliss, and I feel like there's some dark in the center of some of these flowers, and it doesn't quite look black. So even though Blackberry Bliss was not listed in the colors for the Bloom Impressions, it perfectly does match. I do believe it is printed in some of these darker spots on the paper. I'm not sure why this 6x6 is not meeting up. I don't think I have quite a true 6x6 on these. I guess I just assumed it was 6x6. It looks like this meets up and this meets up. So they look like they are 6 by, I don't know, 5 3/4 maybe. It was probably for the mailer to be able to work. Okay, that is going to work perfectly. Now I think over here, I need to decide how big I want this to be. I'm going to play a little bit. I have this feature photo. Trying to decide how much I want to show around it. Let's try a 6x8. If you haven't tried the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, let me tell you, this was my go-to even when I sold close to my heart. This is the paper cutter that I used every day for myself. And when I had people ask what I used, I was like, it's not the one that we sell. And then Close to My Heart came out with a paper trimmer made by the same company right before we closed. And I didn't even order it because I did not need another thing that was branded Close to My Heart. And since I was switching over to Stampin' Up, I thought I'll just keep it. Oh, I like that. I'm going to have to pop that up on foam tape, definitely. And then we're going to do this. To really accentuate that photo. Thank you, Mom, for wearing all the bright colors. She's quite the fashionista, isn't she? I think I'm going to make this come down about 2 inches from the top and 1 inch from the side. If I can square this up, I'm going to come 2 inches down, 1 inch over from the side. And then I will try for this one to go up 2 inches from the bottom and in 1 inch from the side. I'm an eyeballer. If you want to get out your T-ruler and make it perfect, go ahead. So and then this one is going to be just squared up in the middle of all of those. Nine and 3 here. And somewhere close to 10 and 2. And then this picture is going to pop up on foam tape. Now my question is, should I still double matte this photo? Ooh, I think I want to actually. So I'm cutting a mat at 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 from my Blackberry Bliss cardstock here. Oh, I love that. How stunning is that? Kind of blends in at the corner, kind of stands out against this bold print. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I'm going to put my adhesive, a good inch, inch and a half in from all the sides so that I have room to tuck things in. What do I want to tuck in is the question. I almost forgot she had a couple more small photos tucked around the sides. That's why I printed these little 3x3s. I did not get a picture of Kinsley holding Ellie. So I decided to just do a sleeping photo of her. It was actually me holding her, but I wanted this to be more about my parents. So we're just going to focus in on Miss Ellie for this particular layout. Avery was so excited to hold her. She couldn't wait to meet her. I'm going to measure these. Looks like they're about 2.5. I'm going to make it a square and cut it on a diagonal. So Ellie is about 2 months old. This was the day before she turned 2 months old. And she's just a little squirt. Like, she's probably about 8 pounds now. She was 5 pounds 6 ounces and when she was born, and only about 5 pounds when she came home from the hospital. So she's an itty bitty one. So we've been pretty protective about people seeing her, obviously, because she is so bitty. And so this is the first opportunity much of the family has had to meet her. I think this is going to work out great. So I'm going to put these pieces in. I'm putting these peach colors to the side. It would actually be Peach Pie is the name of that color. And then the Daffodil Delight flowers here and here. You know what? I think I can put it right up against it. I don't even have to tuck it under. The Daffodil Delight can be tucked at the top, but I'm going to do that Peach Pie because it's closer to what she's wearing. So we'll kind of accentuate her colors. And it's also a color that's in my dad's shirt. So we'll put those there. And then if I can line these up, I'll know exactly where the 6 inches are to put down the Daffodil Delight flowers. And those I'll be able to tuck in because remember, I did not put my adhesive all the way to the outside. You know what? I think I want to put this one at the bottom because it looks like the stems that it's growing up. So we'll put that one pointing at 6. And this one just looks like the tops of all of them that's going to show, at least the part that's showing. And we'll put that one right at 6. Perfect. So I'm using some of those little pieces that she sent. Do I want another accent piece here and here? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. So 2.5, 2.5, and put it on an angle. Then I'm not done yet. Those I'm going to tuck in. These are just an inch, I can tell that. I'm going to cut these at an angle. I may use them, I may not use them. I like to cut in the center first so that I don't crimp my corners. So anytime I'm doing this diagonal cut on a square, I drop my blade first in the center and then go out to both sides. Yes, I know I already shared that tip with you already, but it is such a good tip and I cannot tell you how important it is and how it has changed how well my triangles come out now that I use that tip of lining up my papers that way. And for some reason, I'm just attracted to lots of triangles on a layout. So I don't want my corners crunched up or wrinkled or smashed. So I make sure that I drop that blade in the center, and it really has helped. And usually it's only a problem if I have a dull blade, but sometimes I pick up the wrong trimmer or something like that, and sometimes I just don't come at it at the perfect angle, and I don't like to crunch up those corners. It just drives me crazy. And here I'm just layering up more triangles so that I will end up having 4 layers of triangles at the sides. And I really like how it brings all of those colors onto the right-hand page that we see in that really bright, bold featured paper on the left layout as well. It really makes it more cohesive. So what I'm going to do here for my title, let me show you. I still have about this much left for here, for these pieces. So I might still add a little something somewhere, but I don't have much. What I think I want to do, what a great day. And I want it to say great because she met her great grandparents. So I think the best way to handle the title is to bring in a stamping platform. Oh, what a I'm going to have to cut out the word great. I should have room to put the great in there because the letters that I'm going to do are rather skinny. See how tall and skinny they are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About that long. Yes, it'll fit. Don't you love my exact measurements? Let's see what we can do with Melon Mambo. And then I may even pull in this Blackberry Bliss with the letters. I inked up the letters on the left-hand side, but this is such a large platform that you didn't see me doing that. You know what I'm going to do to give this a little better contact? I'm going to move this magnet down here. I have all that foam tape too, but that foam will give a little bit, but the magnet will not. It's a rather good impression. I'm going to stamp it again. I used to be so scared to stamp on my layouts. I wouldn't say that I'm over scared anymore, but I would say that now I know I could just put a piece of cardstock over top and have a creative opportunity if I mess it up. But oh, isn't it worth it? Look at that. I love it, I love it. And what I really like about the die cuts from Stampin' Up! Is they recognize the fact that you might need multiples of things. So you probably notice the R, the E, the A, and the T, they had doubles of all of those. This time I don't happen to need doubles, but many times they do. And even on this other set here, there's doubles of a lot of them. So it really saves a lot of time die cutting when you can do multiples of letters at the same time. It makes these investments in die cuts so worth it, and it saves a lot of time. Love that. And that one, I believe, was the Alphabet a la Mode dies. And this little Xyron Create a Sticker is like the best thing for letters. I just drop them down in there. The bottom part will be the part that picks up the adhesive, and I pull through the paper and it adds the adhesive to the back, and they are just automatic little stickers. Super easy. You could use a tree ruler for this. If I knew where mine was, I would get it out. I was just at a crop last weekend. I'm going to a crop this next weekend. So my crop bags have a lot of my supplies in them. I'm going with the outside letter so I know how far I can stretch that word great. And then I will work from the middle and out. And I misspelled it. Great. Don't worry about the extra adhesive. I will come in with my rub and remove and get that off of there. Oh, how cute. It basically sat right on that word, on that line. Perfect. So I have these 2 sheets of mixed media paper that I had done a while back, and then I didn't want to use them like I thought I would. So I just hung on to them to figure out what I wanted to do with them at some point. And I think the blues will match well enough to be able to pull off some embellishment type pieces out of these 2. And then I'm also going to bring in these stylish shape dies, and I've got some squares, because remember, these were all squares or rectangles that I started with, and so I figured that would make nice grounding elements. And I still have these tiny pieces left, so I thought I could make some banners using some of these die cuts. Okay, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of little banners and squares. I even did one frame, and that was out of my excess pieces. And then the other thing I have some leftover Happy Hibiscus 3D. It was from the hybrid embossing folder. So these were all cut out from a recent card video that I did. So I think I'm going to find some coordinating inks, and I'm going to sponge these with some color. So let's get that set up. Okay, so I have Petunia Pop, Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, Melon Mambo. So I use my blending brushes, and I'm using the glass mat to pick up color, tap it off on my glass mat, and then blend it around the outside of these flowers. And then when I would do another color, the peach pie I'd put in the middle of the Daffodil Delight flowers and vice versa. And then I did some of the same basic blending techniques using the Petunia Pop and the Melon Mambo. And when I did this Petunia Pop, I noticed that I had a little bit of that still on my mat, and I even picked it up a little bit in that Melon Mambo, but it really looked pretty when it was combined on those flowers. Okay, when I play with embellishment clusters, it tends to take me a little bit of time, but I think the main thing is I want to have a square here, here, here. And I'm going to do some banners here because it'll kind of all flowish together, hopefully. And then I'm trying to put some of different color combinations around the page, and I think this is going to work. I really like this where I put a frame behind a square. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this off and start building that. And I like to start gluing from my bottom layer, working up, and then my top ones, I used some foam tape and dimensionals and popped those up on the very top layer. And I just liked the look that that gave me. And then the last step was going through and adding those beautiful antique pearls to my page. I have these Spectrum Noir metallic paint markers, and I have Quicksilver. And I think I want to shake this up good and then add stuff to the center of some of these flowers. Then I'm going to go in the center of these. I'm trying to go on the dots, but also just a little bit random anywhere. March 22nd. That's just going to be real subtle, but it'll have the date. Then I think I can journal down in through here and tell about Miss Ellie meeting her cousins and great-grandparents on that day. I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out all of the other girls in the Inspiration Collaboration Design team and what they've done with the Mystery Envelope Challenge from Kami. Thanks, Kami. I had a lot of fun with this one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more crafty inspiration.